So it is not that there has not been advances, there have been significant advances. But the purpose of our meeting here is not to talk in generalities, it's to talk in particular about the impact on women and what we need to do in relation to that. The figures I gave you before in relation to the 22 to 25-year-old age bracket, it's a 15 to 25-year-old age bracket of 20 to 22%, are matched in other countries by employment which is at least double that, in some countries treble that. So the gap between women's employment, despite the remarkable work that's done by Qatar and now more recently GERPA, and I must pay tribute to that work, is that we should really today just have a little bit of anxiety in our voice and a little anger in our voice. But it's not anger that can be influenced by the World Bank or by people on the outside. It's no part of my culture or of people in Washington to come to say in the region that women deserve a better place in the economic environment. That is for all of you to decide. And so I want to be very clear that I'm not making value judgments. I'm not even suggesting, and I'm not advocating, because that's not my place, nor was it at the bank. But it is for men and women in the region to recognize that if there is to be advance, and if you're going to be comparable to the way things are, let's take in China or in India, the role of women and men is much more equal. And this is the thing that I think needs to be brought out, that to give effect to economic development, the role of women needs both to be recognized and acted upon. And this is not something that any outside institution, be it the World Bank or anybody else, can really do. All we can do is to be there to support those efforts. And I know that my successors are in fact seeking to do this, and you have a remarkable leader here in Nabil, and my observations are that for all of you, this should be a meeting which congratulates you on the progress that's been made, but recognizes most exactly that to achieve the full momentum that can be achieved by women's participation in the workforce, there is quite a lot that still needs to be done. And we should have a good feeling while we have coffee of congratulations, but I would hope that in the rest of the days, a little bit of anxiety can come out, and a little bit of that spirit that I personally have felt from women of the region is still there, because I can only tell you they gave me a very tough time when I was president of the World Bank. Thank you all for letting me come. It's not often that a retired president of the World Bank gets a chance to speak. You just get forgotten. So I thank you all very much for recognizing me. It's nice to hear myself being called President Wolfensohn instead of Hey You. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, President Jim Wolfensohn, thank you so much for your very kind remarks. And let me assure you that as a psychologist and not an economist, a little bit of anxiety is definitely a good thing. And I certainly hope that for the next 2 days, we will not spend our time congratulating ourselves, maybe patting ourselves on the back a little bit, but certainly looking into some of the very important issues that you pointed out. The economic crisis is certainly a situation where many of us working on gender and economic issues need to take advantage of. This is certainly a time to reflect, to rethink paradigms, and to not just focus on damage control, but really think forward to imagine a future that is certainly more inclusive of men and women alike. I hope that the Gender and Public Policy program at the Dubai School of Government, through collaborations with excellent institutions, regionally and internationally, such as the Center for Arab Women's Training and Research, Kauthar, and the World Bank, we'll be able to go even a small way into filling this gap. So thank you so much for being so patient and listening. We have a small coffee break right now, and we expect you to be here at 10:30 sharp. So شكرا لكم على حسن استماعكم. عندنا استراحة قصيرة الحين ونطلب منكم إن شاء الله أنه ترجعوا للصالة على الساعة 10:30 تقريبا. شكرا.